Good day and welcome to the Prokon YouTube channel. My name is Annemie and I'm a Prokon technical consultant. Today I'll be looking at creating curves and construction lines in Sumo. Adding curves and construction lines in Sumo is usually done before creating 3D geometry. Curve elements and construction lines can be used as guidelines to create 3D geometry. If you are familiar with conventional CAD software, then you will see that creating curves in Sumo works very similar. To start creating curves, go to the Insert tab on the ribbon and click on the Curves button. This opens up a contextual ribbon with the available curve options. You have the option to create lines, circular arcs, circles, elliptic arcs, ellipses, splines, and polylines. But before I create a line, I'll just first go to the top view. When clicking on the Lines command, you can see that steps for carrying out the command appear at the top of my model space. The current command is always displayed in black and the others in grey, so I select my line start. Now before I can select my line end, either I can snap to the grid or I can press tab on my keyboard to toggle between values. I can type in my desired value and press enter to lock them. Let's say I want the angle of my line to be 30 degrees and the length to be 20 meters. I press tab until I get to my angle. I type in 30 degrees and then press enter. You can now see that the angle is highlighted in red and locked. I once again press tab to toggle to my length. I then type in 20 and press enter. Adding any other curve types works very similar. Let's look at adding a circle. I select the circle command. The first step is choosing the circle center. Either I can select a point on the circle with my mouse or I can enter its coordinates. Alternatively, I can use tab on my keyboard to toggle to the radius and enter it. Let's also have a look at the continuous option. This allows me to chain curves together. I'll add some more lines with this option turned on. Creating an ellipse is a lot like creating a circle. First, select ellipse. First, select the center point of the ellipse, then the major axis, and then the minor. Then press enter when you are done. There is also an option to add spline curves. Once again, after selecting the command, just follow the steps given in the corner, which in this case is just selecting the positions of the different control points. After creating a spline, remember to press enter to complete the command. Press escape on your keyboard to exit out of the curve command. If I then select any of my curve elements, you can see the grip points being displayed. You can now select these grip points to edit your curve element. Selecting the middle grip point allows you to move the curve around depending on if your snaps are turned on. Curves can also snap to one another. To delete the curve, simply select it and press delete on your keyboard. Let's edit the shape some more using the grip points. Lines and curves can be used as a guide to create 3D geometry. This is discussed in detail at a later stage. To add a slab to my model using these lines, I have to go to the Structure tab and click on Slabs. Notice how the drawing tools in the contextual ribbon is much the same as when creating curves. I can now draw my slab geometry by snapping to my lines. Select the slab by clicking on its edge. In the Properties panel, you can make changes to the slab attributes, like the thickness. Next, let's look at creating some construction lines. Construction lines can also be used as a guide or reference when adding structural elements. To create a construction line, go to the Insert and click on Construction Lines. Adding construction lines is very similar to adding a normal line. You can also tab through values. Then, these lines can now be used to add structural elements. For instance, a beam. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Remember, Prokon is an Autodesk Gold partner and authorized developer, training and certification center. Please make sure to follow us on social media to get the latest news and updates, and visit our website at www.prokon.com.